What's up, Skirts Up Squad?
Did you just take my line? It's Samantha.
And Melissa.
I'm going to actually tell you guys how it is right now. It was so fun.
We couldn't even make it up. I'm going to do it. I'm going to wear it in public.
Then she looks at me and she goes, that's what Jesus is for.
We are about normalizing things that are hard to talk about.
So I was like, deer in headlights, skirts out. But keep your panties on. Hey, Skirts Up Squad, it's Samantha.
And Melissa.
And I feel like we haven't started it like that in a while.
What did we start it like before?
I don't know. I think this season it's just kind of been, hey, how's it going?
And the girl, hey.
Hey, girl, hey. Hey. That's been the vibe, though. Not gonna lie.
It's so funny. Are you feeling overwhelmed with the holidays?
I don't know that I'm overwhelmed with the holidays. There's just so much going on that I just feel emotionally drained, but I couldn't really tell you why because everything feels fine. But let's see.
That's hard when you're like, I don't know that I have a reason to be feeling the way I'm feeling.
Right?
Hard. Because
it's the worst.
You don't want to validate it, but it's still valid to have those weird feelings, right? And you're just like, it's weird how we always think we have to put a name to something.
Yeah. And then people are like, well, what do you need? Like, how can I help you? I was like, I don't know. If I knew what I need, I would do it.
Nah.
But, yeah. So anyways, Merry freaking Christmas to all of our, I was going to say.
Amazing squad.
Yeah. I was going to say filthy animals, but then I thought that maybe some people wouldn't get that.
Christmas vacation, everybody has to know. Very filthy animals.
Okay, I'm glad you at least got it.
Of course.
I guess while we're talking about funks, the fail that comes up to me like right now is I think it's got to be relatable because if it's not like surely it is. Right. So I took my final exam for the RTT course. And it was very nerve-wracking and I was really nervous, but at the same time, I felt very confident. And it ended up being not my greatest session. And so this session is like where you perform a whole
practical
session.
Exam.
Yes. Yeah. And you have a, why are words not coming to my head? Like a professor or whatever, like watching you.
Yeah.
I had to start over after like the first 2 minutes because like I just lost all of my steps and it was like just words were coming out that weren't making sense. And I go, oh, okay, we're going to have to start this over. And the teacher was nice enough to be like, yep, let's reset.
Everybody's nice.
Yeah. And so we started over and man, it was a mess. And then, so by the end of it, I'm like, oh, I don't think I just didn't pass. There's no whatever. And the teacher's going through all of the feedback and it's all like negative feedback. And so then I'm like just really stressed and I'm like, okay. But then she passed me and said that I hit all of the major criterias. And yeah, she's like, it was obvious you knew exactly like what you were trying to do. It's just obvious that your stuff wasn't organized in the way that it maybe should have been. And so she said, you passed, like you'll get to graduate. And then I like got off the phone and then I just started crying. So I was like, why did I graduate? What happens now? Now I graduate? That was the worst session I've ever done. If this is what the sessions are going to be like I don't need to be doing this. And then I had like this whole meltdown and then was like depressed that I passed because I shouldn't have passed. And then when I was thinking about it, though, I reflected on it for a few days because I was like, man, that reaction of crying for hours because I passed, but like in a sad way, like that doesn't make sense. So I reflected on it for a few days. And I think that what the emotion really was like, oh, shit, I passed. Now I have to succeed at doing this kind of. And so it was like that fear of like having to take off and be on my own.
I literally wondered that immediately.
Yeah, it took me a few days to figure that out. But yeah, I think it was like maybe like a scare of like, oh shit, now I have to figure it out.
Yeah, it's like, here I am, and I'm the one that's going to be reading session. But you got this. the more questions you do, the better you're going to get.
Yeah.
And you're just setting yourself up for, because you already have I thought you said you already had some clients lined up even.
Yeah,
Am I wrong?
yeah, I have a
Or
little
there's more?
log of people that I've pre-booked, so it's
Yeah.
going.
So
I think there's that fear of flying
something I
maybe.
can tell you, yeah, I don't know if this will help or not, but something I can say is that Melissa Walker, um,
Hey, Melissa.
of course, I know, right? I swear, she's so, every time she learns a new malady, no, new modality, she's always just like, hey, just so you know, and she's honest and upfront with her clients. Like, just so you know, I'm new at this. We're in this together. If something doesn't feel right, tell me, and the more honest you are about it, I think it's going to be great. And only
Makes
both of you
sense.
can learn and grow together. Yeah.
No, it does help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, I mean, absolutely. I don't know what to say. Actually, I think it's
Hey, that was
I was
Melissa
gonna say
Walker. I'm just kidding.
absolutely.
Perfect. Well, you're calling in from a different state. Yeah.
So I'm in North Carolina. I worked all nighters up until the day I was supposed to leave town because the 20th is like the deadline that we give everybody. Like, okay, I'll have all the quilts done by the 20th. So I did all nighters, and then I think it was was it the 20th on Saturday? I
Yep.
think.
Mhm.
Okay. So my friend, okay, this was actually a better fail than what I was going to tell. So my friend told me, I don't know, like a month or two ago, she invited me to her parents' her family Christmas party is what she said. And I was like, oh, awesome. That sounds great. And I happen to know that her sister lives in Tucker near her. And I assumed that's where the party was going to be. And then I found out 2 days, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 days before the party. I called her to just be like, hey, what should I wear? What time? Yada, yada. And I found out it's in North Carolina at her parents' house.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but is that your fail or is that a sweet fail on her? For saying you're invited.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Love that.
It's a combined, lack of communication. Both of us are just like, yeah, it's going to be great. And neither of us got into the details until it was close to. And she was so sweet. She's like, well, you're going to have to stay in a hotel nearby. Um, and I'll help you pay for it. And she felt so bad. And I was like, no. I mean, so what I did was I ended up booking extra nights, and I'm just staying up here. And I've been going hiking with Oliver and just enjoying it. And they invited me over for dinner tonight. So I'm here for dinner. But yeah. Oh my God. Their Christmas party though was huge. I swear it's like a whole town.
Oh,
There's people coming in and out all night until 3 in the morning. It was insane.
whoa.
It was not a family party. It was her parents' party that they do every year. And they cooked 20 cakes. They had
Holy smokes.
it was insane. It was insane. And I met so many people. It was really fun.
That's an
I was
awesome
very
experience. Yeah.
yeah. I walked in and I was like, she's like, well, when I pulled up, I was like, all these cars were here. And she's like, park across the street, at the lake, because they live by a lake. And I was like, okay. And so I walked up and I just was shocked. And I walked in and I was like, I didn't have words. And she could tell I was overwhelmed. And I was just like, yeah, why don't I get a drink?
Right.
And I loosened up a little. It was good.
Wow. Yeah, I can't imagine. But that sounds really neat.
It was neat. It was really neat. Yeah.
And
So,
then did I hear you say that you're spending some alone time with Oliver, hiking, or is it a
oh, nope. Alone time. So I'm just here alone for 3 or 4 days.
what?
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yeah.
And you mentioned that this is kind of what you've been missing and needing some more of in your life.
Yeah, exactly. I not so yes, the alone part is good, but I've been needing more the mountains and going hiking and just traveling and going somewhere for a few days if I can, and I always want to curate my life for that. but there was a certain partner that I was with that was kind of like not into that, very much a homebody.
There was a
And
whole
so there was, but then at the same time, like, I think there was part of me that should have just gone anyway. Right. And I see that now. And, he would have been like, you can go. Honestly, it would have probably just made us fall apart sooner than we
yeah.
did. But yeah, so I'm kind of trying to live the life that I want, I guess, now as much as I can.
That's what I'm feeling. I like it.
Thanks.
It looks good on you.
Ooh, how good.
So good that I bet there's a partner you're not telling me about.
That is hilarious. There's not. My mom did that. That was really fast. My mom asked me today if I was dating anybody. And I was like,
so funny.
no. I said, I'm never getting married again. And my mom, of all people, said, you don't have to get married. You can just have a relationship. And I was like, Jonathan, Mom.
Oh, it sounds like Mom wants to live vicariously.
Maybe. So I was like, no. There was somebody that wanted to date me, but it's just no. I don't want to right now.
You and Oliver going on dates sounds like enough to me.
Cleaning up one man's poop is enough.
That's really how it goes. If I have to clean out explosive shit out of a toilet, like, again, like, in 1 week, like, I'm going to lose my whole mind. Like, why?
You might just. It's gonna happen again.
Oh, yeah. Well,
anyway.
Again, that is that. Wait, when are you coming back? Are you staying there for New Year's or are you?
Well, I'm actually coming back for New Year's, if you can believe it.
So you're going to be on through Christmas.
Oliver. I'm actually going to come home for Christmas.
Okay.
Sit with my roommate and then come back because there's another, like, a smaller party. She said, don't worry, it's not nearly as big. For New Year's.
How fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Merry freaking Christmas, you filthy animals.
Thank you, you filthy animal bat.
Love you.
I love you too. So I guess enjoy, right? Enjoy the episode, everyone.
So give us a little bit of your history. I know you've got a project and we're definitely going to talk about it because I think that like she said, your passion has been with teen mental health, but you have a background in global health. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what that
entailed?
I
actually don't really know what global health really means. So, education.
Changed over the years since COVID. But so I've worked for 20 plus years in global health, mostly for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, formerly known as, it's now just the Gates Foundation, in the diseases that don't necessarily impact developing countries, that don't impact the developed world more than developing countries, or that pharmaceutical don't always invest in. So there's market failure. So they don't invest money in things that would help them. So drugs, vaccines, diagnostics, and diseases like HIV, TB, malaria, Ebola, things like that. So that's what I've been working on, mostly actually in the vaccine space, and spent a lot of my time traveling to Africa and Asia.
Wow.
Working in those systems. And I think our perception of that world has changed because of COVID and it becoming an epidemic. But really before that, a lot of these countries' health systems needed a lot of support in general. And so I was working on that. And then when COVID actually happened, my travel came to a standstill. I had a lot of time. And I had this idea that there was a lot of missing products for teens, especially clean products in the teen space, both for physical body products and for mental wellness. And so I just started going down that road of developing the brand around that. And I have Sam and Leo are my kids. They're both teen boys right now. So I had a lot of experience with their own kind of academic and mental struggles or development. And then you throw in COVID and that kind of just a lot of experience.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay.
What were you particularly seeing in your kids that made you go, let me see what I can do about this?
Yeah. So a few different things. One, I kind of joke that I raised my kids on all organic and made my own baby food and like had this like really great wellness thing going. And they
I
still
wanted
want
to do that so bad.
well, and then they still want Subway and Dr. Pepper, right? So like
Yeah.
best intentions are there. There's still teens like eating whatever. And I would say 85% of teens don't take any kind of vitamin. Like they're not supplementing. So kind of like a baseline. Then the second thing is like just, I'm careful with their own privacy now, especially as they're teens, but struggles that we all have as teens, middle school, high school, a lot of
Yeah.
anxiety, OCD, attention stuff, teen boy stuff. And like I felt very grateful that I did have access to therapy for my kids. And but I was finding that like even if you have access to 1 hour a week of therapy, like it's still such a struggle. We're still like kind of on our own trying to navigate it in the best ways. And I was like, what did I want for my own kids? And so definitely seeing screen time use. I was seeing anxiety related to screen time use. I was seeing interest in maybe energy drinks, gaming, maybe not getting enough sleep, or all these things. And then you throw in
Yeah.
pandemic. And so I wanted a product that they would want to take and enjoy taking, but also my packaging is fun and accessible. It's a pouch. And so it kind of also is a tool that parents can use to have conversations about your physical and mental wellness. And so it's kind of this bigger, broad thing that it's a product, tastes really good. But also to start having those conversations with our kids that are often really challenging to have.
Wow. So it's like, okay. So what is the product? How does it taste good? Is it a gummy? Like a little
Gummy.
yum.
I'm like so biased, but really it is the most delicious tasting gummy. Okay, so first
Really?
it's vegan and gluten-free and allergy-free.
Nice.
Has like 5 ingredients in it. It doesn't stick to your teeth. It's
5 ingredients. That's amazing.
yeah, for the base.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah.
stick to your teeth. It's not coated in sugar. Like they taste really good. They don't taste like any other gummy on the market. And so
Wow.
it's a really good tasting product. They're made
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Awesome.
but because my kids also didn't love all the gummies. Like there are so many gummies on the market and they all taste widely different, but a lot of them don't taste so good.
A lot of them taste like I don't want to say dirt, but
No, they don't taste well. Yeah.
yeah.
So mine tastes really good. And then there is a little, people are sensitive about sugar, but first of all, mine have a little bit of sugar and pear juice for sweetening. But I'm competing against energy drinks. Like
Yeah.
grams of sugar I'm okay with compared to what other stuff could
Yeah.
have. And it just turns out that they're also safe for age 4 and older. But I'm like so like I take them to. Anyone in your family can take them. But I wanted something that didn't feel so kiddie and not so adult. Like if you walk down any vitamin aisle, it's kids or adults.
Yeah, it
There's a few,
is.
like teen multis, but like they're not taking them really.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I was trying to fill the space.
Okay. And you were saying something about your pouch being like interesting. Like, are you saying the packaging?
Yeah. So if they get a picture of it or see it, but they are like a pouch and they're different colors and like they don't look like a kid, but they don't look like an adult. So they kind of are like cool. They're easy to grab and go. You can travel with them.
Okay.
It's also the pouch is recyclable, so environmentally friendly. But it looks different than like a jar of vitamins.
I agree that it's hard to travel with a big jar. It's like it just doesn't happen. I don't take it.
Let me just tell you how hard it was to try and figure out how to pack all my like medications because they're like, oh, when you travel, you should bring your bottle just in case anything happens or anyone's got questions. But like some of the bottles that I have to take are like huge. And I'm like, how? Anyways, having to add a vitamin bottle to that, I would have been absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Yeah. And then they're functional. So they're not just like a multi. It's like something like a kid can understand that they're tired or they need energy or they need help falling asleep or they're stressed. I have a relaxed one as well. And so it's like really tuned into what teens are feeling.
Needing.
Yeah.
Okay. At the moment, it's a little more targeted.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you say they're safe for like 4 and up, wouldn't like a 4-year-old's needs be different than like, at 20?
Totally. So it's just to show kind of what's a safety for FDA kind of approval. And all
Gotcha.
kinds. But of the ones I have on the market, the ones that younger kids do, or is it the immunity one? To fight off
Wait,
cold?
do you have FDA approval?
So no supplement is
That's
FDA.
what I thought. Okay, okay.
But I have structured claims like that I can make about them. I have clinical studies that I've done, but
Nice.
gotten on the ingredients. But
Okay.
FDA regulates like percentage amounts for each age group. And so my immunity one is elderberry, echinacea, sea and zinc. So like a 4 or 5-year-old could take that. One of my innovative ones is for eyes for screen time fatigue, which has been around forever as a capsule, never as a gummy. And I actually think we're going to start seeing it in multivitamins because our eyes are all favorite
everyone.
that a 4-year-old could take. And then I also have a sleep one that has a tiny bit of melatonin in it that is like a Zarbee's is the other brand that has a very similar one. And so that if your kid, you are traveling internationally or different time zones, you could give a younger kid one melatonin gummy. So like they are for that reason, but I'm really trying to make them accessible for more the tween and teens.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, thanks for explaining that.
Well, we also do a give back. So like the part of the brand is also very impact focused. So we give back to teen mental health organizations.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay,
So
good.
my passion is about partnering. Like I mean, I'm not here to sell gummies necessarily. Like that's not my like dream in life and goal. Like I love my product, I love the brand, but like I would love to grow it to be able to actually have that give back and to like really support
Okay.
mental health organizations because that is the epidemic, right? Is like
Yeah.
our mental health, and then also add in rural access to care or all these things. Like telehealth gets us so far, but not, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad yes, that's exactly what I was going to ask because you had said that you guys are really big about opening up the conversation to start talking about these things. So I kind of saw like, okay, wait, this isn't just selling something to just hopefully like help my kids sleep for the night. You're trying to actually build awareness and change the world. Which organizations like are you working with exactly and how are you opening up these conversations?
Yeah. So we are just starting out because I'm actually, I'm not even profitable yet, but my intention is to start giving back a percentage of it. And we've started to do some of it in kind and some in donations. One right now they've been local. One is an organization called NOSO. I think it's at capital NO and then SO. So no
Okay.
screens, like really about limiting screen time or the effect of screen time on our kids. I'm not anti-screen time, like my kids are, I'm on it. I think I'm interested in the data, how to support teens and adults through it, and also
Yeah.
data around the impact, because I definitely see it with my younger kid for sure, screen time anxiety. So
Well, even in the school, like they took away standardized testing on paper, and now all of their tests and everything is on their what is it, like a Chromebook or something?
everything's online. Yeah. Some schools are taking away at least the phones in the classroom, which is nice. I think.
They are in New Hampshire.
They are, yeah. But my kid's school here too, he has to turn in his phone when he walks into the classroom, and then before he changes classrooms, he can grab his phone, and then next room's
You know
got
what
to
some
drop him.
savvy kids do though?
What do they do?
Burner phones.
Stop it! Are you serious? The kids are so out of control.
I mean, it's really easy to get a phone like that, though. Like, you just go to Walmart and it's just,
Or just buy a broken one and you slide it right in, like
yeah. Yeah.
so we get around some of this. But yeah, so there's a lot of that. And then there's like the local NAMI, which is the Association for Mental I never forget all these acronyms, but like those organizations, and then it's a regional and they're national. And then I've been putting out kind of like in my own feelers is like, what are the organizations important to you or your local? Because there's so many that are super productive and important locally.
Yeah.
Teens versus the national ones. And like,
Oh, yeah,
I
for
wanna see
sure.
where the impact is. And so I'm still kind of out there trying to figure out which of those organizations are so impactful that could use the extra funding or awareness. So I'm still kind of on that mission to find that. It's not that the national ones don't need it, but I sometimes think that the more local ones are more.
They're more hands-on. They're in the ditches or in the trenches, I guess you should say. But
It's also your community. And so like you're working together for something for those in your area that are struggling, as opposed to trying to focus on so many that are struggling and like focalize on, at least kind of what you're giving to and what you're helping is kind of how I see it.
Right. So how do you do something like that? Because they're made in Colorado. Are you thinking about just starting locally in Colorado, and then just like how would you have branches that just kind of like how are you going to find local?
Wait, you
all over the
said that they're
nation?
on Amazon too,
So
right?
the product is separate. So the product is actually, I've been on Amazon and I just launched in 50 Whole Food stores, almost 50 Whole
That's
Foods.
right. That's right.
So I'm in their accelerator, and they also acknowledged that there was, the brand, there was missing a category for teens, the give back, the environmental packaging. And so I get a lot of support from them. And I literally just this last few weeks have launched on their shelves. So Rocky Mountain region, which is Bozeman, Jackson, all the way down to El Paso, Texas, and Kansas City and Nebraska, and then about 10 stores in Pacific Northwest for a trial period at least, and then Amazon. And
Okay.
so I am actually going to almost all these stores and sampling myself. I've been to Albuquerque and Santa Fe and all the Denver stores, and getting people to taste them, but to see kind of what works.
Right.
And then
cool.
part of that is a lot of social media posting about it, and then asking people like what it is. It's interesting in the store because a lot of times people aren't there with their kids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they're tasting it, or they're so busy they're grabbing things and going. So it depends how much time people really have to interact with it.
Yeah.
Where they can see a lot more about the brand.
So my she's about to be 4 tomorrow. She's very like will not take any gummies. Like she spits them out. Like, if she just no medication, she just won't have it. So I would be curious to see what she would do with it.
I would love to send you guys samples anyway.
I'll have to like video record it. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'd be really curious to see how she reacts to it.
Does she do fruit snacks?
That's what I was
She
wondering.
does like fruit gummies. But like, she has like a problem with like her digestion. So like sometimes she'll get like really backed up, and they have those gummies that are for no, she won't. No, she spits it out. And so
the fiber one now. But they taste more like those fruit snacks.
Okay.
And because they don't come in a jar, they come in the pouch. They are definitely more accessible that way. And the kids who have tried it in the sampling in the stores, they're like, "Mom, it tastes so good. I want them." So I love hearing those testimonials, but it's really getting people to try them that they taste.
Now, is there one gummy in the pack, or are the ingredients broken up into like maybe smaller pieces so it's like a little snack kind of?
It's one gummy, or it's like 1 to 2 gummies per serving, so it's all there. The problem is people want to eat more of them. Actually.
Right. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm glad
It's
there's
like,
just one.
but yeah,
You would keep eating, right?
Yeah, or they don't interact with each other, so you could do all of them. And I mean, that's kind of an investment in your kids' and vitamin situation, but you could take multiple. And then I have caffeine-free energy, which is a B complex with some biotin, and especially for like athletes who are just chugging like not the greatest drinks of other things. This is a good alternative to some of that, and they can definitely handle a few more. So if they did 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon or before a game or before studying, or gamers are into them too, you're not going to get sick or hurt if you have more than 2 at a time, or different throughout the day versus a caffeine drink, or if you definitely drink a lot of caffeine, you're going to feel it.
You just might be peeing vitamins because they're not doing anything after a certain amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got you. So, you were talking about like your awareness, building awareness, of a lot of the issues is something you're passionate about, and you said it's like different. It's a separate thing than the product. What does it have a name? Do you have like a name for that foundation?
No,
Are you
we
going?
haven't set up our own? Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't thought about that yet because that's a whole nother like.
It's a lot of work, I bet.
Yeah. But it's so first because of my background has always been kind of like in this like in this more need population, but also because that is why I created it, right? Because there was a gap in the market. I wanted something for my kids, and I think the real benefit is being able to give back to those who serve.
yeah.
Right.
I know that Melissa, I think I've spitballed this with you multiple times over the years that teen mental health is something that I want to focus on and that I find important because I feel like mental health in general, if it was focused on in schools for teens, so I'm talking about like learning attachment styles, learning how to self-regulate, self-cope, learning just emotions in general, and having that space that it would lower the school violence, it would lower teen suicide, it would just lower, I feel like, all these issues that we're currently having that also snowball into adulthood. And so I'm just kind of curious, like, what about teen mental health like really inspires you? Like, is there a particular aspect of it that you think focusing on teen health would solve or work towards?
Yeah. So, I was mentioning before that we moved to Denver for schools, and one of the reasons we moved is this school in particular is almost solely focused on social emotional learning. And so for my one child in particular, I realized like academically, he's a smart kid, but struggles in school because of the emotional toll and the mental load on it and self-confidence and whatever, and not getting served even with an IEP to get that serving. And we were in crisis, like anxiety through the roof. I'm not actually opposed to medication, but it actually didn't work for him. Like he doesn't metabolize medication. So like we couldn't find one that worked. And we found that this school, it does a lot of outdoor education, movement. He did a 180 just by environment and by the social emotional support and curriculum. And I was like, wow, if this could, a fraction of this could be in all of our schools throughout, like what you were saying, we'd see such a difference in our kids. And so he's a crazy smart kid. But he's missed a lot of school because of this anxiety or different things. And but having that social emotional skills or the tools he built there, he's now actually been transitioned back into a public school and is doing quite well. And so yeah.
No, that's amazing. I actually have a question about that because I don't have children, just full disclosure. I did nanny for about 9 years, just for different families. And I find, and I'm also a big geek dork and a geek, and I like to like listen to NPR and like listen to like, I don't know, different podcasts about things and reading of course. But one of the things that I kind of think is really important is having this stuff introduced in the elementary age. Like they've done studies where they have in kindergarten and like first grade, second grade, where they have the kids actually sitting down to meditate and stuff. And they have like less breakouts and like arguments and stuff on their recess on the playground. Yeah. And so I think it's really important to start introducing all of this stuff that you're talking about, Sam and Dara, like earlier in their life, because like you said the words earlier, you said we were in crisis mode. And I'm thinking, if only that is stuff, if they'd only gotten those tools when they were even younger. So it was very interesting for me to hear you say he was able to do a 180, getting the tools. I know late is better than never. I'm not saying that we shouldn't invest in teens, but it's just interesting to hear like it, because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, well maybe we need to have it start sooner because teen might be too late. But I don't know where I'm going with this. I guess I'm just saying I thought it was really interesting that you said he could do a 180 and you did see a difference.
What was that school? Like what is that school's focus or like what makes a difference?
It's called World Mind, and it has a lot of focus on social emotional learning, but outside education movement. I would say a large percentage of the kids are on the spectrum in varying degrees. My son is not, but yes, a lot of kids have a social emotional element already because of that. A lot of the kids have school trauma, meaning like being in the physical school has been traumatic for them because they hadn't had the support or they were bullied or whatever. So the school actually it's an old mansion. They didn't even want the school to look like a school.
Oh, wow.
So like
that's amazing.
Kids, yeah. And then I would say most of the kids are called 2E kids, twice exceptional. So most of them have quite high IQs, but have other learning challenges like dyslexia, ADHD, other things like that that prevent a normal classroom from working for them. And so it's not for everyone by any means, but I think elements of it would be so
Oh, yeah.
helpful. Yeah.
So it sounds to me like, because I'm still trying to put my finger, what is it that can like be so impactful at that late stage when you're just having a really rough time? And it sounds like that's more than just, it sounds like, a deconstruction of everything they've known about school before is what I'm hearing.
I think it's part of that. I think it's actually removing the pressure of academics
Okay.
entirely or resetting that, where public schools are so test-based or so achievement-based that it's really hard to do that. But like just taking away academics and saying you just need to be in the building and like we're going to support you and feeling
That's huge.
safe in the setting environment, I think that's huge. So being able to take a step back and then kind of regulate. Then, so my son was like only went into the classroom when he was ready.
Yeah.
And he felt safe. And then he was like reading Shakespeare and doing everything, but like on his own. And then
That reminds me of unschooling,
Right.
a little bit, except
but with
that-
more structure.
Yeah. And they don't tolerate bad behavior, but they just understand that these kids have been through a lot. Also classroom size, like 5, 6 kids in a classroom, right?
Okay.
Where
Oh, that's
a-
amazing.
And it's like they can sit wherever, they can move whenever, bean bags, chairs, whatever. Like they learn how I need to learn. So then they also structure the week. The week is structured differently. So
Okay.
Mondays are not academic days. Mondays are always going to be social emotional learning days, project based, movement based, because they, coming back after a weekend, these kids were just freaking out after the transition.
Right.
So academics are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They kind of push it in there, and then Friday, then to let your body go again and like kind of ease back in. And so they found that just even changing the schedule of the week facilitated learning and removed that kind of pressure. I think anytime there was an incident or a conflict between kids, which also happens all the time, especially with kids on the spectrum, but
Sure.
they would stop everything and kind of work it out and give them the tools and the language, right? Like the focus.
Would they do it as a group so that everybody who's not in this situation can learn from it too, in a way? I'm just trying to picture
I think
that.
it depending on like the age, because it was age like 5 to like 14, and so it depends what you can do different things with 5-year-olds than you can with 14-year-olds.
Of course.
But definitely whoever was involved.
So there's some like
lots of school
emotional
trips.
problem solving.
Did a lot of school trips where like they went to Costa Rica, they went to
Really?
the national parks, and like would blend in learning by being out in the world.
In the wild.
Like,
That's
not all
amazing.
things have to be in a school setting, or learning how to like be with 5 people for 4 days straight, right? Like all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about
I love it. Sam, it really sounds a lot like what we're talking about it's not just about school, but it's like really teaching you how to live in the world emotionally and just have like a more of a stable emotional.
Yeah, because even what she
system.
said in the very beginning was that, on Mondays they focus on dropping the weekend and, coming into yourself in a calm way before moving into academics. Think it like even if their first class of the day, like, and it could, that's what, 20, I don't remember how long a class is, like 30 minutes, something like that. Like, just imagine if like your first class was like that period. That's what you did. And then your last class on Friday, that's what you did. Like, I think even
Decompress.
yes, I think even that little tidbit would make a world of difference.
Yeah.
I'm like getting chills. This is huge, I think.
The kids go outside for lunch, like making 14-year-olds go outside.
Yes.
Like a pain, right? But they know that's expected. Like they kick everyone out of the building, all weather.
Oh, they do? That's amazing, especially in
They all
Colorado.
outside. And then also the interages. So like the little kids are playing with the big kids. They kind of look up to each other. I would say there's a lot more tolerance for behavior that probably wouldn't fly in other schools because they kind of know this, but like there's swearing that happens. There's more. It's almost like if you saw the yard, it's almost like Lord of the Flies. There's like fire cloaks and like
Interesting.
they're building stuff. It's like a CrossFit gym kind of thing. But these kids, they know it. They like are climbing on the roof and sitting on things, and so they probably wouldn't fly in a lot of public schools. But it works.
But see, that's the other thing I think. There's a lot of instilled fear in our kids because they're not, I say our kids, but yeah, because they're not allowed to go and experiment and get hurt and then like learn by, like you said, climbing on the roof. I'm not saying that we should just let them run out and do completely, but sometimes they need that actually. You know what? Sometimes they need that. So it's just
some
really
character.
interesting. Yeah.
My husband had all the mostly free will to do whatever, and broke a few bones, broke a collarbone diving off of a stage.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of like risk reward situation.
Yeah, I love that. So so I guess what you're just to take it kind of back to your product and how you can how you're trying to like incorporate this kind of awareness about all of this stuff. It sounds like now I know you said right now you're not even making any profit, of course. Like you just recently launched, I don't know what, like a year within this last year?
A year and a half online, and then like last few weeks in the store shelf.
Well, congratulations. That's so soon.
And actually,
Recent.
I remember you, when we had our pre-conversation, I remember you saying something about it went from kind of like project shut down, like this was a failure, to all of a sudden overnight, bam, like I got something.
Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
We can have a whole other podcast about failure and perseverance. And
That's what we are.
Yeah. We like to talk about that a lot.
I launched with a manufacturer that I was just trying to test the market. Like, is this something that's viable? And then I put them in compostable pouches that didn't retain the freshness. I put them on Amazon, and like it was growing really quickly in 3 months. And then all of a sudden my Amazon account was shut down for like nothing related to me, because they thought I knew someone who I never met. Like, it was the craziest situation.
Weird.
Then had to hire people to like kind of fix it. And in that time I was like, oh, like this is like scary, but like what's the why behind this? And so while I was behind the scenes working to get it fixed, I was really kind of focusing more into the mental health aspect, what the why is of the brand, fix the packaging, found a new
Really
manufacturer.
important.
And within me getting back online at Amazon, 2 months later, I had gotten this Whole Foods opportunity in their accelerator. So it really went pretty quickly after that.
So do you feel like, because you mentioned it, it sounds like you feel like understanding your why and having other people understand, not just you, because like you can understand what you're doing all day, but if nobody else does, it can be really hard for them to want to be part of what you're building. So you feel like building, or like really stating what your why is what got you back going?
I think so, or helped me figure out like to keep going with it. Either like to be on more podcasts to talk about teen mental health, or the why behind it. Definitely it was why Whole Foods picked it. Like, I can tell you Whole Foods, so that we chose me as one of 10 brands out of 1,600 in the
Holy shoot.
Yeah. And it's because one, it's not cannibalizing anything else on their shelf, right? It's a new offering. It's not a kid, it's not an adult vitamin. It tastes really good. Environmentally friendly packaging, and the impact, the why behind it. Like, anyone can go make a gummy vitamin and put your brand on it. Like,
yeah.
And also the clean ingredients, like super, very clean ingredients. And so I think that did help me kind of reset and recenter of like, okay, I guess now even Whole Foods sees that opportunity.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because that's actually kind of brings me back to what I was trying to ask a second ago. You had said you're not quite profitable yet, but I don't feel like that means that you can't help or give back. Like, you can still, like you said, you're building awareness. So
I think also for that, it means a couple of things to me. One is that awareness, and I'm always like giving back and donating product. I'm also so happy to partner with nonprofits or people working in the space and say, like, I'm happy to give, if they're selling it if they want to even sell the product, or, do a fundraiser and I give a percentage to them, or, this month, X amount of proceeds go to this organization. Like, there are so many opportunities for that. Part of it is also like, it is still just me. I'm just starting to build a team to support it, but there's only, for me to I'm getting the product on the shelf. Like, I'm actually like,
that's
distributing.
amazing.
It's crazy. So for me to do all of that and do the like social piece of it too is challenging, but that's where my passion is for it.
Okay, I have to say for our listeners, Sam, because did you see your big Dara, sorry. Dara, your smile just now when you said, I'm doing this, it's happening, I'm getting on the shelf. I was like, the first time I saw your essence come out like super strong, and I just loved it just now. And so I wish everybody could see that, but it's a feat. It's a feat.
So one of my other, like, I don't know what I call it, and it's not a goal, but I'm trying to be more mindful of the wins and celebrating the wins, because I can easily just go in and like, oh, check, another great thing. I'm also a single mom by myself, doing the business by myself. I spend a lot of time alone, and unless I like stop to say, wow, I just did that, it just seems like next thing on, next to do this item, next thing. And then now being in the stores and getting the feedback or sampling it, or I have to be like, wow, no, like I did this. Or when people say like, how did you do this? I'm like, I don't know. You know,
I don't know what's happening. Come along with me and see, because this is crazy.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Like, I feel like that part of you that we just got to see, like, I'm really excited that you just told us, like, now, like, we know, like, oh, you're also a normal person. You're not just like, oh, I worked in the global health and I have like all these boxes that I've checked as like like a career woman, right? Which is amazing. But like, you also have a whole life. You've got your teens, your sons, which we've talked about, but like you were doing it alone in a sense. I'm sure that you're not, none of us are ever really alone. I think community is very important. But like I'm learning a lot about you, and I'm just like even more I'm kind of getting a little bit of some chills here, like just watching you on this journey or hearing about it. I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah, I've done a lot of my own work too, and like a lot of self-compassion.
I was gonna ask that. Like, did you have therapy and support as a teen, or like when did that start?
It's a good question.
I was offered it as a teen, and I like got kicked out of it. I was like very achievement focused. I didn't grow up with a lot of money. I was kind of had to do it all my own. And probably an angry teen, valedictorian, like I got this, I'm gonna do this, and
don't tell me what I can't do, kind of a thing.
And then, grad school, did all the things, next job, and then I got to a point where it's like, oh, I'm not happy, and this is not working for me, and marriage, divorce, and did a therapy prior to divorce, but like that therapy came in later, and different types of therapy, different people served me at different times.
Same.
But I think the most of it has been more about that self-compassion piece, not being so hard on myself, or recognizing the now and not living in the past, the present or the future. That's a constant.
What's kind of funny is that in my stage of my school that I'm in, it mentions that it gets to a certain point where people who often have a lot of accomplishments and hit all the milestones that people like say, this is how you win, like you're valedictorian, this is what success is. They're oftentimes one of the most depressed people. And so they would come and do the therapy that I offer to figure out like, oh, I'm depressed and I don't know why. Like I don't deserve to be, or, there's no reason. Everyone says I have everything that I should have. But then when you like really get into it, a lot of times people who are very successful and have all these accomplishments are depressed because they've lost sight of what their actual dream and passion is. And so you have to kind of go back into the subconscious to be like, when I was 7 years old, between 7 and 14 years old, what is it that I was very passionate about and that I loved? And a lot of times that is where your true like mission and goal and heart resides. And so then it's like, okay, at 7 years old, I wanted to be a veterinarian. I don't really think that's going to work for me right now, but what is it that a vet does that really like sparked into me, and how can I transform that into my life now? So
I love that, Sam.
Yeah, it was just, it just made me think of that. Like that was literally just what I had to do a test on.
Well, and it's perfect because it's what you were saying, Dara. Like you're like, I had to figure out the why. And then it kind of sounds like it jump started things.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. I was on I recorded a podcast a few months ago, but it only just aired this last few weeks. And it's a minute, and it's about scarcity and abundance. And And I listened to it. I was like, who is this person? I was like, I said some good things, but like it was even 3 months ago, it was different from where I had been now. And like I even said to my therapist, and I was like, listen, like all the stuff that we've talked about, but so
Yes.
is like that rooted like where you go to when you're in fear, where you go to when you are more available or gentler yourself. And it was helpful to hear that because it is easy to be like, I am selling vitamins and I'm having to get all the work done and then forget the kind of like why. And also, I'm not, there's also probably you see this in your practice or in your schooling too about like the financial reward. Like I've never really been driven by the financial part of it. Like I would love for this company to be successful, but for me, I've always been working in nonprofits or, developing countries.
Right.
And so there is this, the altruism aspect of it to place in, but like there's a lot of academics around. Is it like, how do you feel about it? How does it serve you? Or like, are you, a helper or giver of yourself?
Yeah. So in that aspect of it, a lot of people struggle with that. I have my own business and the purpose of my business is to help others. So of course, for me in my schooling, it's, this therapy certificate to help people, but then it also costs them a good penny to get the help that I'm offering. So it's like this double whammy. How am I helping people? But like, if they can't afford it. And so there's actually a practice where you would go, into therapy and learn how to work with your money block. So the money block, is feeling kind of dirty. Like for me, it was feeling dirty. And so I actually had to do a session on this. So it was like, why am I taking people's money to help them? But then you have to kind of think about it.
Melissa Walker went through that same thing when she started.
Yes, because
And she's a therapist that we've had on before, Dara.
So what it comes down to is that you have to realize that you can't help people if you're not helping yourself, right? We usually talk about that in sense of emotion, but there's also the aspect of if you don't have the money to keep doing what you're doing, then you're not helping anyone. So you have to be able to remove that block to accept the money that you worked for and deserve so that you can give to others.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not like you can't, well, exactly what you said. Like, and then you can maybe do some pro bono here and there, or in other ways, or build awareness and use your time to help people in other ways. Like, there's a lot of ways that we give back. And just because we are charging for a service doesn't mean that you're not giving back. So, yeah, that's so interesting. I love that.
There's a lot, I don't know.
There's a lot that goes to it.
Yeah. So it's just funny, as you're explaining, Dara, the kind of processes and things that you went through. It's like there's actual like mental health statistics on why that is. And I don't know. It fascinates me.
I'm sure it's all, yeah. And if you have to catch me 3 months from now, and I'll look back again and be like, oh my gosh, like I've seen a constant me evolving through it.
Yeah. And we actually do that a lot too when we go back and listen to our old episodes. Sometimes we'll be like, wait, we said that. That's so funny. Or like, look at where we are now. And it's really funny to be able to have, our words documented kind of in a way.
Yes.
That's interesting. And it kind of just gave me an aha moment because I'm not a journaler, but we were talking, I was talking to somebody about that book called The Artist's Way.
Did you end up starting it?
No, we didn't end up getting signups for it. So I'm going to try and do it on my own. But one of the premises to that is you just kind of start free writing every morning. And I guess like part of it is to help you like find like what you're really, really thinking about in your subconscious and just
need to
get
out
what you need, like let it come out on its own. Yeah. Anyway, what I wanted to say was I feel like when you were talking, Sam, about having things documented, sometimes, because I don't like to journal, it's just not something that worked for me ever. But having something to look back and see how you've grown, I think it's important. And I'm kind of saying maybe that's what's so big about journaling for people.
Yeah.
But you can do it in other ways too. Like you could do it with a video chat or like a voice recording. Because I know you were talking about that once.
Yeah, there's
I'm getting off track, but
I'm not very good about
yeah.
reading my journals, but now maybe I should.
You should absolutely.
maybe.
Because we have a dream.
Rereading. Sorry.
Yeah, rereading.
Definitely.
We had a dream analyst on, and so basically every morning she writes down her dreams, and she said that what's really interesting is that when something points out at her, like that she's written about her dream, she can go back and usually find another insert that was really similar or has some sort of connection of like, oh, every 3 months on this day, I have the same dream or a similar dream or something. And so it's really interesting to go and be able to connect dots of things that you thought or felt.
Yeah, because sometimes we just do things and we don't actually see the effects of it until we go back and look and see, like, you have to see. Oh, for instance, for our shop, we started partnering this with this company called, they do like a mystery quilt. But one of the things is they help us with our social media. And when you first start with them, they like, okay, write down how many followers you have today. Because like you see it growing, but to be able to say, okay, from this day to 3 months later, we actually grew this much. Like, so it's good to have like a benchmark for yourself too. And I would love to hear you in later, like if we talked again and you're like, oh, I did go back and reread my journals.
Yeah, I do. There's one app I have been using that's less emotion based. It's called, I'm going to just let you know what it's called. It's called Day One. Have you heard of it?
Okay.
Basically, the idea is you write whatever happened that day, like one sentence, something like whatever.
Okay.
And then you have it every single day. And so then after you've done it a year, you can look back to that same day of last year to see what you did that day last year, like how to track time a little bit. You can add photos too or whatever. I've just religiously done it for like high level things. Like sometimes I'll even say what I made for dinner if I have nothing else, but normally it's like whatever, like something on the kitchen.
I love that because it's like social media, but it's only for you.
And then not as daunting if it's like,
it's one little tap.
yeah.
And then I get in there and I was like, last year, oh my God, it's been a year since I did that. It sounds like yesterday or like the littlest things or the biggest things, right? But it's things that you would normally not remember when
Yeah.
Right.
had lunch with or dinner with or been interesting. That's helped too.
I love that because for me, I can have a hard time being introspective sometimes because I'm just going. And it's like, well, don't look at the past, just go, what are we doing next? And I don't even live in the now like I should because it's always what's next, right?
Yeah.
And so I like that you're saying, I love that.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been fun. It's been fun now that it's been a year, more than a year. So I can see the progress. But it's fascinating. I can't. Now I'm looking. Now it actually has me not addicted, but captured that I want to know every. Like wow.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
The brain works through repetition.
Well, and she said, were you saying like now it has you like kind of excited to see the next thing where it says this time last year?
Yeah. Oh, this last year, this time, look where I've come from a year. Like, look what I was doing this time last year. Yeah. Wow.
And what's it going to feed me tomorrow? What I did last year.
I don't look ahead. That's when.
Oh, see, look at me. I'm doing it again.
Yeah.
But I just do it very on the day.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Kind of to finish up now, I'm kind of curious. You mentioned single parent. A lot of your time is spent alone. You're a one-woman show running this new product and, its launch and marketing and making connections with the community and stuff. So how are you kind of resetting or, recharging yourself each day, if even each day, to help make sure that you can stay on track with what you're trying to do?
Yeah, it's the thing I've struggled the most with in the last 3 weeks. It's changed since the store launch. Like I'm definitely in it. Like I'm in stores for 3 to 4 hour demos once or twice a day for days. So it's a physical tool now. Like I am standing.
Yeah. Doing samples.
Physical work. Before that, I had a good yoga practice, my meditation. I'd go on walks with friends. I have my kids for 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So it changed it, more intense when I have them. And then when I don't, I could plan more travel when I didn't have them. And so I was able to kind of curate that a little bit, maybe a little dating, maybe not, like whatever. This last month, oh no, like there is no extracurricular happening, because when I don't have my kids, then I'm going to the stores not in Colorado or Denver. Like I'm going to Utah or Santa Fe. And so I think I'm just realizing right now I'm in it. And so what can I, to back to your point, your question, like what can I do right now? Because this is what it is. I think I'm really listening to my body, because I knew I pushed it to last weekend. I was like, that was one too many things. Like I just was too much. Like,
Yeah.
like I should not have driven to Santa Fe and Albuquerque and back. Like I probably should have flown.
Okay.
Things like that where I'm like, let's take a step back and like protect some of that. Eating, even like sometimes it's go. Like, how can I find better? Like, I'm in a freaking Whole Foods for 4 days a day. I should be able, but the last thing I want to do is go find food for myself. So it's like salad bar, pizza bar, like
Yeah.
making some of those and then I mean, travel is my happy place, adventure. And so I do need things to look forward to. And so I'm just now trying to figure out how to put those on the calendar and like hold that space, even if it's just a few days. Because that is like something super important to me. And also just knowing that this is not a long term.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yes.
So I'm hearing, tell me if I was hearing this right. I'm hearing you say like it looks self-care for you and probably for all of us, looks different. And you kind of have to look at yourself today and in the now and be like, okay, whereas last week I was doing a yoga class, this week or today, right now, I just need to remember stop for 15 minutes and eat a healthy lunch and it's okay. And that can be self-care.
Totally. And even I would take it even one step further than that, is like the self-compassion of like catching myself scrolling mindlessly. And it's like, I don't even beat myself up, because I'm like, whoa, my brain has been on all day and like, I'm okay to do this right now. Whereas before I might have been a little,
I needed to hear that. Thank you.
yeah.
The doom scrolling. I hear that a lot. A lot of clients, they have the procrastination as their challenge that they want to try and readdress, and it's the doom scrolling. And why am I doing that instead of doing what I should be doing? But so it's interesting to hear the flip side of I've been doing so much of what I've been supposed to be doing that like I deserve to doom scroll.
I try not to do the deserving thing, because I'll slip into like the food, like all the things deserve.
Yeah.
Right?
Same.
And so that's like not a trigger, but I'm like, yeah, I deserve it. Yes, let's call it that. I deserve it. But then it's like being okay with it. This is for me to be like deserve it and it's okay.
That is
True. True.
Yeah, because I am super productive. Like I'm very productive. And the flip side of that is the unproductivity hours I have to be okay with.
Yeah.
Yep. I thank you for everything today.
Well, everybody, you've heard it here. Sam and Leo.
Body.
Did you like the episode that you heard today? Great. Share it with a friend and don't forget to rate and review.